HarperCollins presents Out, How Brexit Got Done and the Tories Were Undone, by Tim Shipman, read by Leighton Pugh. For Etty, who was born between the Christmas Eve deal and the Northern Ireland Protocol Bill, and is already a better negotiator than anyone in these pages, and for Charlotte, from whom she inherited these skills. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Abraham Lincoln. The Tory party is an absolute monarchy moderated by regicide. William Hague. History has an open-door policy. Any fool can walk right in. Mick Heron, Slough House. Introduction. This book is the fourth and final part of a sequence designed to tell the full story of the most explosive period of domestic British politics since the Second World War. All Out War 2016 was the first, and remains the only, all-points narrative of the EU referendum campaign. Fall Out 2017 recounts how a new government under Theresa May set out to tackle Brexit, focusing on the 2017 election and how the loss of the Tory majority left May disastrously weakened as formal Brexit talks began. No Way Out, published earlier this year but written at the same time as Out, is the story of May's three great negotiations, first with her cabinet, then with the EU, and finally with Parliament. All four books provide evidence for a theory of power, that those who succeed in politics know where they want to go strategically, second, can devise tactics to get there, and third, have the necessary skills to execute their plans and take both MPs and the public with them. None of the Prime Ministers in these pages consistently managed all three. Out concludes the story with the 2024 general election, where those failures of leadership were punished. It begins with Boris Johnson's arrival in Downing Street in July 2019, in the midst of the most turbulent 12 months in Parliament for a century. Part 1 sees Johnson and Dominic Cummings pursue a strategy of unrelenting aggression to deliver Brexit by any means necessary. This period saw the prorogation of Parliament, the government's defeat in the Supreme Court, the Ben/Surrender Act, delete according to taste, and Johnson's deal with the Irish and the EU, culminating in him forcing a general election. Part 2 tells the story of the 2019 Tory landslide from the perspective of the three main parties. In Part 3, Johnson finally gets Brexit done, but tensions immediately flare in his camp. The tale of his Christmas Eve Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, with Brussels is intercut with details of how the COVID-19 pandemic led to the collapse of Johnson's relationship with Cummings. Part 4 describes Johnson's downfall from the end of 2020 to mid-2022, including the breakdown of trust between him and Chancellor Rishi Sunak and between the UK and EU over the Brexit settlement. In Part 5, Liz Truss becomes Tory leader and pursues one vision of a post-Brexit economy to the detriment of herself and that economy. Part 6 sees Sunak inherit number 10 after a power struggle with Johnson and then strike a new deal with Brussels, the Windsor Framework. It covers Johnson's forced departure from Parliament and concludes with yet another leadership plot. Part 7 explains why Sunak called the 2024 general election and how Keir Starmer capitalised on years of political chaos. In the conclusion, I try to draw some lessons about what this intense political drama meant, what it can teach us about the practice of politics and the effective exercise of power, and how it might have panned out differently. This was a political, parliamentary, legal and diplomatic drama.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?